So I want to introduce you to George. George Reed, I've known for many years. George has been through our program. What's really fun to be able to say is that George gives every person he hires the opportunity to be through the program. So George is a director at Covance. George, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to what you have to say to these precious people.
It's a pleasure to be here, Christopher. And one of the best decisions, one of the best choices I think I made was about 11 years ago when a good friend of mine said, you got to come hear this guy speak at this Project Management Institute training day. Why? I've never heard that name before. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna spoil it. I just want you to spend an hour with him, and then you tell me if that's not gonna change your stars. And what responsibility did for me, the hot-headed Irishman with a military background who had gone into technology and business, was it taught me the power of the pivot. I can choose to stay stuck down in shame and blame and all of that kind of stuff going on, or I can go, you know what, I don't like this. And what I teach my folks to do after they've been through the programs, I say, now let's apply. Let's figure out what attributes need to be true or not true in order to have a successful pivot. And developing the ability to get from lower to upper, above that line quickly, completely changes the way you work, think, communicate, and deliver. And if I had had this information and this awareness 30 years ago, it would have been a completely different career. Not unhappy with my career, love my job, love my teams. I drive lab innovation at Covance, drug development. Matter of fact, power of the pivot example, before I go into what I look for in people, which is the second half of my comments. When COVID hit, several things occurred at Covance. 12,000 office-based people need to suddenly start working remote. We're in 16 countries, right? We also have central labs where people have to handle samples and have to do testing. We had huge capital projects getting ready to be approved and kicked off. All of that paused, and we figured out how to pivot to remote work. We figured out how to quickly improve systems so that some jobs that had to be office space didn't need to be anymore. And we turned out a way to start clinical trial studies instead of in 6 months to get them rolling in 6 weeks. Because we have several live COVID vaccine, COVID therapeutic clinical trials that are live, and we turned them on in weeks. And not only that, because we learned how to pivot so fast, we got innovation in my labs that every study for every medicine from now on will start in 6 weeks, not 6 months. And the customers are delighted. But the most important thing to me, the reason I work in life sciences, I have a special needs son, and 32 different therapies and medicines have given him a fairly normal life. And every one of them came through Covance Central Labs. And I want people around me, because I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I will have the smartest room. And one of the things I can do is if I have smart people who can use the power of responsibility and get up into solving problems quickly, that's not only a smart room, it's a powerful room. That power is real. A homework assignment I give everybody on their first day of the job. Every day I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, my power is real, because it is. And you're part of a powerful team. When I get resumes coming in, if they've got on it that they've been through Christopher's program, they get a call. I don't care. I tell my recruiters that. If this is on there, they get a call, because I already know, how to get through problems. It's not whether things are going to go wrong. They always go wrong. It's what are we going to do about it when it happens? Understanding where we contribute to the mayhem is not shame. It's understanding where we can contribute it. And, I stood up in front of my team, hey gang, I contributed to this mayhem by not giving clear expectations. Here's the more clear expectations. Let's pivot on this and do better. And people that come in for interviews, even if they haven't got the program, I look for attributes that are true or not true. That means they could consume this training, this skill set, and adapt into a responsible delivery style. And, I will ask questions that may seem a little off the wall to them, but I'm asking for personal experiences. And it starts telling me, okay, you're a problem solver. Okay, you're an innovative thinker. Okay, you're not going to spend a week mad because we had to roll back a technology release because something was wrong. You're going to spend time making sure that doesn't happen again. And when you surround yourself with people that do that, you find yourself rising quickly and doing more important work. And to me, my work track is doing things that matter. You know, my favorite hobby is as an adjunct professor with the Athleta Foundation, which takes high-performing college athletes from around North America who aren't going to play on Sundays, but they've already achieved a ton, and helps guide them into a business or a professional career. And, you know, I can tell you responsibility comes up more than once in those mentoring sessions. But as someone that would like to take a jump start, stop with the do it yourself, you're going to get armed with the ability to go from the bottom of that line to the top of that line very, very quickly. And you'll communicate differently. You'll listen differently. People will come up and ask you, what are you doing? And, you know, I never used to, when I first was in the program, I didn't shop around what I was doing. I just did my thing. And people said, your communication's differently. You're not getting upset when stuff gets messed up. And they start wanting to know it and self-apply it, because as Christopher will tell anybody in the program, it's got to be self-applied. You can't force it. And, you know, at the end of the day, you put a couple of clubs in your golf bag that other people don't have, and it's going to give you a leg up, because directors and whatnot want a team that can push forward the mission. And I believe leadership is the singular act of inviting others to greatness. And I love it when people that work for me end up getting promoted, you know, up and out of my space, because that means I wanted leadership and they wanted choice.
Thank you, George. Yeah. And I love the stories you tell me about how your people grow when they've come through the program, and even getting accolades from other executives who notice them change. So thank you very much, George, for your leadership. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having a program that just clicks. And like I said, I attended that seminar. I immediately went online and ordered a whole set of CDs. And it was about a week before I started catching myself doing some of the stuff that was talked about in those seminars. I went, uh-oh. And don't be afraid to have an uh-oh moment. It's okay. It's just you want to catch it sooner.
Thank you, George. I appreciate it.